Meteorologists avoid flying on summer evenings, and here's why. According to Morgan McFall Johnson, Chris Bianchi loves flying. The fact that you can go from being on a 737 sitting on the ground to hurtling through air at 500 miles an hour in 5 minutes is just fascinating to me, he says. I'm never not awestruck when I'm taking off, and on a plane it's just so cool. But on the evening of June 26, he did not get to fly. Instead, he got stuck at LaGuardia Airport overnight waiting for an hour's delayed plane. He only had himself to blame. As a meteorologist, he should have known better than to book a flight on a summer evening. With his extra airport time, he made a TikTok about it. He said, I broke the one rule you should never ever break. The 9 News Denver meteorologist told his followers, never book a flight in the afternoon or especially at night during the summertime months in the United States. Soon flight attendants were posting in the comments about how they always book the first morning flight of the day. Bianchi's meteorologist friends started texting him, asking why on earth he was flying at night. It's an open secret among those in the know. Summer afternoons and evenings are the most weather delay prone time of year for flights. It was a fun trip and I didn't have to work the next day, Bianchi told Business Insider, and that's why I was like, I'll roll the dice a little bit on this full week knowing that I could get screwed, which is what happened to me, he said. Ultimately, Bianchi did not get on the plane home to Denver until 7 p.m. the following day. Summer afternoons are peak thunderstorm times. That's the reason. I remember when we were in the States and we were to leave for a flight from New York, and they were calling us 3 or 4 days in advance to tell us to make from the airline, to tell us to make sure that we were on time for our flight, because they were expecting heavy thunder showers and they wanted to take off on time to be above the storm before the lightnings were striking. And we were above the storm. It was amazing what we saw underneath us going on with the lightning storms. It's amazing when you see that when you're above it. Now, summer afternoons are peak thunderstorm time. 3 ingredients make the thunderstorm: moisture, unstable air, and some way for that air to get moving. In summer, the heat of the sun helps things get moving if the atmosphere is unstable enough, either due to differences of temperature or moisture in different layers of the atmosphere. Hot air rises, so the warm summer air near Earth's surface starts to rise to higher, cooler altitudes. Water vapor, completing the ingredient triad in the air, cools as it rises, condensing into clouds. Eventually you have a thunderstorm. The morning tends to be calmer in most areas. It might take a little bit for that energy to build up for storms to spark. AccuWeather meteorologist Elisa Glennie told Business Insider, you might have a calmer flight in the morning. Bad weather does not need to be in your flight path to cause a delay. It could be in the city where your plane stopped earlier that day. A storm in Chicago might delay the plane that's supposed to take you from LaGuardia to Miami. Weather in other cities can really disrupt your travel plans, Bianchi said. April and May are particularly bad weather months across the central plains of the U.S. and through Tornado Alley, according to Glennie. And then in the later summer, from June onwards, hurricane season picks up. And even if your plane is not coming from a coastal city in a hurricane's path, those systems often move inland after they make a landfall, causing tornadoes and thunderstorms across the United States. Remnants of Hurricane Beryl, for example, pummeled the Great Lakes and New England regions with rain and heavy winds Wednesday and Thursday, just days after the storm made landfall in Texas. Even before landfall, Beryl led to over 1,000 flights cancellations and thousands of delays, according to Reuters. Morning flights can help you avoid cascading delays. Booking morning flights does not just help you avoid nasty weather, it also cushions you against delays that build up throughout the day. Even if skies are clear across the country on the afternoon or evening you fly, any planes that were delayed earlier in the day could still be running behind schedule. And Glennie says that'll have a cascading effect. Knowing all that science and flight logistics, Bianchi's takeaway is simple. Book a flight in the morning in summer, he said. This is from Business Insider by Morgan McFall Johnson on Science Alert. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.